So you got nothing to talk about?
I don't think I have. I mean, no. This is it's been a. Oh, I can tell you that I've been abandoned.
Jeffrey?
No, Jeffrey. He is constant.
So I guess
but
Bob is the other option.
Yeah, she's Kevin'd me.
She's what you?
Kevin'd me. Left me home alone.
Wow, that was... I was not there at all. But boy, speaking of Macaulay Culkin... Anyway,
Call him a Culkin?
Yeah. What did I just say to make the same mistake?
No, I think you said it properly. I just wanted to check.
You just wanted to remind me of my past fluffs, didn't you?
Because Call him
You
a
wanted to
Culkin
bring me
is
down.
his name.
Call him a Culkin.
Oh, don't bring me down. Gently. Please don't bring me down. Okay.
This is a podcast in which two friends talk about the pleasures, absurdities, and imperfections of being human. I'm Simon Ellis.
And I'm Lee Miller. Welcome to Midlifing.
I do have some news.
I'd love to hear it.
I quit my job.
What the Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't, but I just wanted to get practice in saying I quit my job because I think at some point...
You arsehole!
At some point on an infinite timescale during this podcast, I will say I quit my job. And so a little bit like, the boy who cried wolf. I'm hoping that eventually when I actually do it, you'll just be going, blah, 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 bored now. And I'll be saying, no.
Is it because you haven't quit any jobs and I've quit like 3?
Actually, it wasn't it wasn't a shot across your bow, as it were. And it was...
my inconsistent bow.
Your inconsistent what?
Bow.
Exactly. And I thought what it would be like just to go, okay, I'm just going to go out alone. So I was just practicing and wondering what that would sound like to come from my mouth.
What did it feel like when you said it out loud?
It really felt good, I have to say.
Simon's Frolics, I want you to all know that this isn't personal. This is absolutely part of his quarter-life crisis.
My 3/4 life. Yeah. No, I didn't.
So
good. That was good, though, wasn't it?
Does that mean that you think... hey, you gave me an April Fool moment. Day late, dollar short, but still.
How much did you believe me?
Totally, fully, 100% believed you.
Oh, I love that about you, Lee Miller. I love that
gullible.
about you. No, that's not what I was thinking. No. Well, I wasn't.
Yeah.
But now you say that.
Well, yeah.
No, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking more that you were like in a way, I sort of think it. Well, firstly, it was believable. That's one thing that's important. That clearly, slightly terrifying. But yeah, just that. Yeah, your instinct is to hear it and not doubt it. I just think that's beautiful.
I wouldn't doubt you. I mean, I think that's because it's because like 15 years, maybe not that. How long have you been in that place? 10 years? 8 years?
In which place?
The place that you are now.
You mean the job?
The job, yeah.
No,
how long you've been in it.
not that long. 6 years.
Is it only 6 years? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think probably because when you told me that you were quitting your last job to take this job, I think I didn't hear it.
You really tried to talk me out of it.
Yeah, I was because I was in such a radically different place. I didn't realize how deeply institutionalized I was. I'm sure we've talked about this, that I was so horrified about you throwing away stability in that kind of way. And now I'm like, yeah, burn it all down. Come on, kids. Take a job. Keep it for 2 weeks. Fuck off and do another one. I have a very, very different relationship now to the idea of longevity. I kind of think, ooh, is a semester? Is a semester a long time? It feels like a long time. That feels like long enough to commit. Please, people at my new post, don't think that this is an indication of... Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I do think that's interesting in terms of sort of stage of life. I know we really don't talk about midlife very much, just to be clear. But we occasionally, it's sort of, I don't know, like vermouth passing a martini glass every now and again we get a whiff of it. But yes, this is one of those moments where it feels like, oh, that's quite an interesting, at a very different stage of your life, you're going, actually, it's more important that I'm not, the longevity, the stability thing seems to be,
Yeah, because nobody is going to be saying to you when you're on your deathbed, oh, are you happy that you stayed in that place that made you quite sad for a really long time?
Yeah, and just to be clear, again, to my frenemies and frolics at work, that I really love my job.
Oh, and to be really clear, I similarly love the job that I'm leaving. And to my friends and colleagues, because I have no frolics there. I have friends, 3 of them, we've already outlined that, and colleagues. And they are not frolics, they are colleagues. And they are so, yeah, I'm...
It's quite the nomenclature, or the nomenclature.
You were right, nomenclature. Yeah, nomenclature, you're fine. Trust your mouth.
Is quite a... I've got one other. Do you? This is a little bit of a funny episode, isn't it?
It's a really, really weird episode. I don't quite. I mean, have we? But it also feels like we're both hopped up on like orange squash and Jaffa cakes, which is like a little bit.
I really hope I actually pressed record on the.
I actually have no faith that I did. Now that you said that. So I wanted to just take us back to you telling me that you quit your job and you haven't.
Yeah.
And I asked you how it felt. And what do you think would be, what would you need to do? What would, let me try and put that into a sentence. What would need to change in your world to allow that to become a real statement and not a gag?
What would I need to do, or what would need to happen?
Yeah, what would need to happen in the world for you to be able to go, yeah, I'm ready?
I think we'd probably need about another 200,000 listeners.
Right.
Because then we can start spruiking coffee mugs and T-shirts and sold out world tours.
So you're basing this entirely on merch?
Yeah. But...
Okay, I just need to say, if we're going to go into merch, we're going to struggle because I'm going to be like, I'm not sure that this... I don't want to eat cotton because cotton's really heavy on the planet. Shall we have them made in linen? Well, linen's a really unforgiving fabric, and you'll be all like, let's go with the technical fibre. I'll be like, no, that's hard to wear. It doesn't drape well. Also, microplastics. I just don't think we can ever go to wearable merch is what I'm saying, because we'll never agree on an aesthetic.
Well, no, the aesthetic's not... Yes, so...
What do you mean the aesthetics not?
Absolutely. Well, you were just talking about things that were nothing to do with it. I did. Well, actually, maybe they were partly to do with aesthetics. They were almost about kind of environmental.
Well, yeah, but technical fibre is where you also go as well. It's like, will it wick away? Has it got a 4-way stretch?
Right, because don't you?
How many zips does it have?
It's like you've got a video on and you're looking at the clothes I'm wearing right now.
I don't need to look at them. I know what you've got.
One day I'll surprise you. One day I'll surprise you.
Well, you surprised me when you went and bought a load of Oliver Spencer that year, and I've literally never seen you wear any of it.
That's not true. I have a photo of me wearing that shirt.
Okay, fine.
But yeah,
what
I do tend towards technical, it's true. Tending towards technical.
Yeah, and I tend towards wearing the wrong item for the wrong moment. So yesterday I did a little bit more gardening in an ecru-coloured top, which is now covered in plant stains.
What's ecru?
Sort of, it's just another word for not really got a colour attached to it. It's not beige, it's not grey.
Ecru?
It's in that kind of ecru.
How do you spell that?
It's in that ECRU. Google it.
ECRU.
DuckDuckGo it. Ecosia it.
Yeah, so merch
Bandage.
can't be merch.
Well, I mean, it can be merch,
I don't really want to add shit to the planet. I mean, it's bad enough that these things are being hosted on servers powered by coal and, fossil fuels.
Okay, what if our merch was like, you can have a midlifing massage?
By Lee Miller.
No, I didn't mean that. That's
You're going to
gross.
give out massages.
No,
I love that.
I'm not going to. No. I changed my mind. Everything about this is wrong.
So we have to cut this because this is really
Oh.
this is actually just getting embarrassing now. It's too.
Listen to On Seclusion. I think that's quite a highbrow.
Do you think it is? I was thinking about that episode the other day. It is quite. It seems like it's the antithesis of the last couple of weeks. That's for sure.
I actually think the last couple of weeks have been fairly balanced. I quite like the conversation we had about dicks and the follow-up we had about dicks because, you know, we've been having a sensible conversation about worth and how worth is placed on people.
Yeah, that's true. I did have it reminds me, I did have a response from a listener who said, every time I think I'm not your demographic, I hear something that thinks, I must write about that.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's from a 70-year-old person, and which is we've got a nice range there from nearly 25-year-old Charlie, fuck off, to 7-year-old Melburnian. Fantastic.
This is you know, we are running
depth.
the gamut there. I know. And don't forget, we've got, like, you know, semi-famous actors in Trouble in Hawaii who are listening to us.
That's right. Show title. Just to continue, this it feels like a sort of catch-up show, doesn't it? Like lots of little bits and pieces. But
like a grab bag.
But this is in the latest episode of Simon's nephew Finn, the life of Simon's nephew Finn.
Can I, before you tell us this, can I just ask, did you get Finn to sign an ethical release form? Because otherwise I'm anxious about this.
No, I did not.
Good stuff.
But I reckon he'll be... I don't think this news is embargoed any longer.
Okay, cool,
I think it's okay to share. It certainly will be okay to share by the time this episode is released. But Finn, yesterday, at the school he goes to, which is called the school, because I can never remember its name, has just been through a rigorous, arduous, probably more arduous than your job interview processes, and has been appointed, there are two of them, head prefect for next year.
Wow. I had every faith that was the kind of person he is, and will be.
I like covering all the tenses. And we've he and I spent a lot of time in the last couple of weeks practicing interviews and questions and presenting, and so I like to. This is not really about him; it's about me. I really wanted just to say I feel like I've made a massive contribution to Finn's role as upcoming role as head boy. There's a head boy and a head girl, although they're allowed to also choose gender neutral terms if they want.
Ah, good.
But I think he's going to sis the hell out of it, so he's going to be head boy.
He's going to sis the hell out of it. Wow. Okay. So do you plan to influence his policy?
I do. I'm going to. I am living the life of a teenage boy vicariously now, and it's fantastic. The second time round, it's a lot easier. And I did have those moments because we have spent a lot of time the last couple of weeks FaceTiming, walking together and talking it through, and it has been hilarious fun for both of us. And but it did occur to me, you know, I'm not his dad, as clearly the title Uncle implies, but just how easy it must be for parents to get caught up in the ambitions of their children. Wow. And so I've been resisting it, you know, because it's not really important to me. I mean, being with him is important to me, not the outcomes of things like this. But I am super proud of him. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, that feeling.
Yeah, I can well imagine how quickly you could get hoovered into that sense of going from being supportive to pushing.
Oh. And so I often say, look, you know, he'll ask me something. He says, well, it's not my job to provide the answers. That's your job. My job's to kind of support you, maybe ask the questions. But it's very easy, especially if you're running out of time, to go, okay, no, try it like this, you know, where it becomes me just sort of telling him how to do something better, which, you know, I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I'm more experienced, but because he is remarkable. But yeah, it's a very, that's a slippery slope, if ever there were a slippery slope.
Well, congratulations, Finn. That's very exciting news.
Yeah, if this makes the cut.
I feel, why wouldn't it? Given the general level of chaos of today's conversation, this feels like a high point.
It does.
You know, I'm not even going to repeat what it isn't, because I hope to cut out most of the stuff that is shockingly inappropriate.
Has there been shockingly inappropriate things?
A couple of bits.
And are you okay, dear Lee? Are you all right?
Yeah, I am. I mean, when Bob's not in the house, I do find myself asking, what exactly is my purpose?
Wow.
And I think it's been, that sounded way more existentially problematic than it actually is. I think it's also to do with the fact that this week at work has been, I worked digitally the whole time. But I think because I've spent this whole week remotely and I haven't really had any exchanges with a human being, I've only spoken to the dog in live, in real space. Everybody has been digitally remote. I think perhaps that's why I found myself going, what is my purpose in the world when Bob is not here? Because I've had no human-to-human interaction.
But it's weird that, you joked that it's not an existential thing, but at the same time, it
kind of is.
Yeah. How can it not be? If you're talking about purpose and being...
But it also terrifies me.
Oh, I see. So you dodge the question, you mean? Like you
I
feel
have
the
to
question
dodge
and
the
go,
question. Yeah. That's just a joke. I don't mean that, because actually, to pause and think, what am I for if there is no Bob in the world, does make me go, oh, fuck. Yeah, because friends, colleagues, frenemies, the whole lot of you, please don't take this the wrong way when I say that you are about a fifth as interesting to me as Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, if social interaction is an iceberg, you are all the bit that's above the water, and Bob is the stuff that's underneath.
Yeah, she's a Titanic wrecker.
Oh my God, she would shear my hull in two. I would be like an apple cleft in twain. That's a little bit of 12th Night for you there. Just to take us off Hamlet for a change.
Thank you for some 12th Night.
Welcome. That's okay. I don't do that often enough, really, do I?
No, you don't.
Yeah,
yes, it's midlifing and Shakespeare.
I do find myself having those moments, or have found myself having these moments this week where I have thought, what is... Yeah. And it's not. It doesn't feel like I need to be correct. It needs to be corrected, or this is a conversation.
Or fixed, or psychologized.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried about that. I'm not interested in having the conversation with people who go, oh, well, you've invested too much time in that relationship, and you probably should make. No, I'm not bothered about that. I'm just aware that there might be a moment in life where I don't have a Bob, and I wonder what I will be for. It doesn't make me want to invest more in my relationships with other people. It just makes me go, oh, I wonder what would happen.
And so, wow.
That was a record scratch, wasn't it?
Well, it just made me wonder about which part of the iceberg midlifing is.
It's a heron that's flying past the top of the iceberg. I mean, it might just gently alight.
Just doing a little shit on that.
Absolutely, yeah. Midlifing, the heron that shits on the iceberg of your life.
Yeah, nice
show title.
Yeah.
How are you, Simon?
Well, I quit my job this week.
You fucker.
No, I'm okay. We're going to a surprise birthday party today, and I'm okay saying that because this will be out after the day. It's freezing cold, as you know. Winter's really, and so it's been a big week, really, a lot of work, and I don't have anything interesting to say about that.
Okay, well,
I don't. I wish, I'm trying to think. Well, I could, but no, I can't even squeeze anything out of that. Like it was a work week. Although I spent the first couple of days on leave, just sort of reflecting on things, and I spent some time at WeWork, WeWork.com. Do you know WeWork?
No, what's a WeWork?
WeWork is global, and by global it means, I imagine, mostly just Northern Hemisphere and Western places where you go, there are places where you go to work.
Oh, like one of those co-working spaces.
Correct,
that you can drop
and
into.
you pay a certain amount of money, and this is the second time I've been. The first time I got a discount and paid half, which wasn't too bad for a day's work, and then I didn't enjoy it. I found it like it just seemed really social. It seemed more like we hang around would have been a better word for it. And so I put that in my feedback, and then they offered me a free day.
Nice.
Yeah, well, so I thought I'd take it, and the guy was great, showed me around, but I found a better space, a space that was more better for my kind of way of working, and had all sorts of trouble with the internet, which I had the first time as well, which I can't imagine I'm the only one, and but clearly people are doing, I mean, I do feel like, talk about feeling middle-aged. Wow, that's some serious hipsterness going on there, if that's still a word that people use.
I don't think it is.
No, but it's still
which also shows how middle-aged you
yeah,
are.
but it's a sort of kind of
it
time of
makes
people's
sense
life.
of-
That's the kind of
yeah.
And also imagine that you'd have to be. It's hard to imagine if you're trying to do like build a startup, like where money to hire that kind of place to work from, where that money's coming from. Like it's not cheap.
No, is it like £15 a day or something?
No,
like that?
more
Or
like
is it more?
50.
Seriously?
I mean, imagine if you had a
Wow.
long-term thing, it'll be cheaper than that.
I think I'm just so incredibly tight. I would never pay money for that.
Really?
I mean, yeah,
like that to me,
really,
that seems like
because-
reasonably, especially now that I've had 2 days for just half a day's price. That's it's quite good
no,
value.
Yeah, I understand that, but even the idea of spending £25 to work makes me go, no. I like a news aggregator.
Everyone who listens to this podcast knows how much you like a news aggregator.
I have a variety of
Aggregators.
hoovering up various bits of things. One of the things that I am interested in, unsurprisingly, is dogs.
Ah.
So the problem with an aggregator is if I don't look at
What is an aggregator? Like, do you mean like that thing, that flip? What was it called? Flipboard.
Yeah,
board.
Flipboard. That's one of them.
Yeah,
There's
so
a
and what
variety, isn't
and
there?
and it means that it just sort of takes a bunch of keywords or things that you're interested in, and then or you tell
Yeah.
it what you're interested in, and then it sort of just
you
grabs it, it hoovers up things from the internet.
Exactly. It's a news hoover, but it only points at the bits of dirt that you care about.
Right. So you're looking only at dirt you care about. You don't see dirt that you don't care about.
Well, yes, because I don't want the algorithm to get confused and start giving me, I don't know, things about
Boy
newly
George.
designed prams. Oh, I'll be perfectly happy with information about Boy George.
Yeah, but newly designed prams.
Yeah, I don't need a
You
pram.
don't need to
and
keep up with pram design, do you?
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm sure that technology is moving forward without me needing to be on top of it.
And okay, I'll let you finish
or
the story.
inside. It's not very exciting, but because it's basically hoovering things up, things will sit in its dust bag for a little while until I eventually get around to looking.
Oh, so you don't ever think it's too old.
No, I don't. I think it sits there until I've looked at it and then it disappears. I don't really know how it works. I'm not technical. I'm not like you.
Right. Both in
Anyway.
terms of clothing and computers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So from a while ago, there was a story about a woman who was saying, "Do not walk your dogs every day."
Oh.
And the first thing I did was I checked the date because I thought, what if this was published some time ago, perhaps on, let's say, April the 1st?
Mhm.
Perhaps it was an April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
It wasn't. But I started just to think and reflect upon all those bits of advice that people write down. And because it's been published, you go, oh, well, it must be a true story.
Well, you don't, do you, though?
Well, no, I know you don't.
Are you
'Cause I
saying
just
one
was-
does, or do you do that?
Well, I definitely don't because
Some people do.
some people probably do. And I'm worried about those dogs who live with people who've read that and gone, oh, best not take it out today.
And is it bad advice? And are you able to I don't know, dislike or thumbs down that article so you don't get more from that publication in your aggregator?
I can, but it actually turned up 3 different times.
What, the same article?
From different, well, the same story,
not
the same article.
So there are other people.
Sources.
That's the scourge of the internet, isn't it?
You just keep reading the same thing over and over again.
Oh, it makes me tired thinking about it.
Well, it made...
Do you remember the internet was amazing, wasn't it? In the 1990s, it was amazing.
Tell me why it was amazing, Simon.
It was amazing because it was like this bright new future. It seemed like it was a place where it was like respite from craziness. And there were things that and it was simple. You made little things, and there were no such things as cookies. And there were no such things as data mining and real time. What is it that Facebook does? Real time advertising or real time selling of advertisements. I forget what there's a particular acronym.
Oh, is that the thing where if you Googled like rich tea biscuits, the next time you open up a window, it will have adverts for rich tea biscuits?
No, well that's
products.
No, it's much more interesting. Well, I won't say it's interesting, but it's different from that. It's that if you're served a page, meaning when by that meaning you click on a link to a website, that there's this flurry and massively fast flurry of bidding by advertisers to determine who can advertise a particular thing to you the cheapest. And so that what that means is that you get a series of ads, that there's been this bidding for your eyeballs, basically. And that bid happens every time you click on a link into a new web page. So people won't see the same ads. Yeah, it's something like real-time bidding or something like that, but it's massively fast in order to serve you those particular advertisements. It's mind-boggling, Lee.
Do you think you could go clean?
Internet clean?
Yeah, internet clean. Do you think you
I've
could
been
air
about this
gap
so much.
yourself?
I've been thinking about this in terms of dumb phones, for sure.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I couldn't because
air gap yourself from the world.
Yes, although I love the idea of sitting under a blanket every time I turn on my computer.
That's not how air gapping works.
Like, what's his name?
Okay.
Like, The Spy Who Loved Me. No, that's James Bond. No, the guy who's now in Russia who told us all the secrets.
Julian Assange?
No, the nice one.
Oh, which is the nice one?
Yeah, come on, he's the one. This is fantastic radio.
It really is.
I'm so sorry.
In an episode not so long ago, we just spent a whole day blowing our cheeks out. So come on.
I'm gonna, come on. There's been a film about him, both a documentary as well as a made-up film. And he's the NRA NC something whistleblower, and there's even a Peter Gabriel song written about him. Come on, his name's Edward Snowden.
Oh, Edward Snowden!
I'm so
you should have said the one with the nice hair and the glasses.
I'm so sorry. I know that those
as
things.
Opposed to the one who looks like it looks like he's been inside a long time. Julian
which
Assange,
I think might be quite true.
Now, this is where those like sort of 12 degrees, it's not 12, it's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon get really confusing for me. And there's a bit of my head that thinks that Julian Assange, and I need you to tell me if this is true or not, was Julian Assange engaged to Pamela Anderson? Or has my brain made that
I think your brain's been doing some serious aggregating.
I have in my head that Julian Assange and Pamela Anderson were engaged to be married.
Now, Pamela.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess it could be true. I have so little relationship. I don't use aggregators. I don't use them.
Well, I do, but I don't have it hoovering up Pamela Anderson stories. So.
But is there a point at which do you feel overwhelmed by that stuff?
Do I get overwhelmed by the presence of stuff wanting my eyeballs?
Yes.
I think probably slightly less than the idea of doom scrolling in Instagram or Twitter. Not that I'm on Twitter, but you know that idea of just sort of falling down the kind of constantly.
And then half an hour
flicking your
later,
finger.
you're.
Yeah. Because the articles, as inconsequential and flimsy as they often are, they kind of do require a little bit more engagement from me.
Right. But so, hang on, you were... anyway,
I was just telling you about the dog. I was telling you about the... that was what I think where I'd come in. And
about the
you then
walking,
asked me
about the don't walk your dog.
Yeah, and I discussed it with Jeff, and I said, Jeff, tell me, how do you feel about the idea of having 1 or 2 walk-free days per
Like
week?
car-free days in the 1970s.
Yeah, exactly. And he looked at me and he said, how do you feel about having 1 or 2 shit-filled staircases per week? And I said, ooh, on balance, I'd rather you didn't poo on the staircase. And he said, on balance, I'd rather you took me outside.